The question is, where the hell's the carbon coming from? Because that's a vast amount of carbon for that number of running hours. Presumably it's fouling up the whole exhaust system as well.
Hello and welcome to another one of our Ask the Expert sessions here at BoatHowTo. I'm Jan Attenstedt, we're talking to Nigel CALDER.
Hi.
And today we have another question related to diesel engines. I have a 2011 yacht with a Volvo Penta D240. I do all the servicing and maintenance myself. I check the exhaust elbow every 18 months, which is about every 500 hours, and normally find it quite blocked with carbon, so about 50% blocked. Whoa, okay. Is this because I'm not running the engine hard enough to burn off the carbon? I run my engine at about 2000 RPM and wide open throttle is approximately 2700 RPM. That sounds like a lot of carbon, huh?
Yeah, it's way too much carbon, but this is interesting because if I remember correctly, that's a 3000 RPM engine, which means the boat is probably slightly overpropped. He or she runs at 2000 RPM, which means the engine is pretty well loaded. So there should be no carbon formation. The question is, where the hell's the carbon coming from? Because that's a vast amount of carbon for that number of running hours. If it truly is 50% obstruction of the exhaust manifold, and presumably it's fouling up the whole exhaust system as well. So a couple of thoughts here, that there is actually a lot of carbon in the exhaust system, which is screwing up the airflow through the engine, causing excess carbon formation. It's just exacerbating the problem. Another thought would be that he or she is forgetting to check the air filter, and the air filter is plugged, so we're not getting the oxygen we need to burn the fuel, so we're getting incomplete combustion. And then a much more expensive thought is that the fuel system is actually not functioning properly, and that we got one or more injectors that are not atomizing the fuel properly, and we're getting a lot of carbon formation in the process. And that might also relate to the low operating speed, the 2700 RPM. Maybe the prop is correctly matched to the engine, and because we've got poor fuel and combustion processes, we're not getting the wide open throttle. Check the cheap things first. The whole movement of air from the inlet to the exhaust outlet on the hull, make sure there's no other obstructions in there. And if nothing pops up there, then I think we're looking at some potentially moderately expensive investigation to try and figure out what's going on, because I think the problem's in the fuel system.
One thing you can also try to check the airflow, I think, is to make sure that if you run it wide open throttle, to open the engine compartment, and if you notice there's like any pressure that you have to pull against, then there's definitely a lack of air to the engine. All right, Nigel, thanks for your thoughts on that. And if you want to learn more about boat engines, check out our brand new marine diesel engine course at BoatHowTo.com, where we teach you a lot about how to maintain your engine and how to make sure it stays reliable. Check it out, BoatHowTo.com, and see you soon.